I grew up in the 1960s to two hippie parents that were architects. So I was surrounded by different people that were very creative. There was always that idea that I wanted to become a painter. So they encouraged me to continue to draw and paint, even to the point where I drew a mural in my own room. But I never saw it as a career until later on. And what finally defined the moment was when I discovered that pamphlet from ArtCenter. You open it up in the middle and there's this beautiful, gorgeous work. And I thought, the teachers are wonderful. My mentor says, that's not the teacher's work, that's the student's work. And that was it. That was the defining moment for me to say, this is what I want to do. I was probably one or two of the foreigners that were in the class at the time. This is in the early 80s. And I remember making this challenge to myself. I may not speak as proficient as the rest of the people, but I'm going to prove to them that I can be just as good a student. Being in a school that really just was at the top of their game, right? I mean, here you are with these amazing teachers that show you things in ways that you've never heard before. And I think that's the one thing that I really thank ArtCenter, that it made me more marketable because they taught me concept. If you have a good idea, you can apply any technique you want to. Because as soon as I graduated and I showed the conceptual qualities of some of my pieces, people at the time started hiring me to illustrate products that did not exist yet. I realized that many minorities were not represented as well as others. And I thought, oh my God, this is a great opportunity. I'm Latino. My characters could be Latino, especially the ones that's being overlooked by history. In 2004, there was a call in the studio. We have these great stories about the life of Celia Cruz, the amazing Cuban singer. So I thought, wouldn't it be great if my little grain of salt adds to the world getting to know more about Celia, especially young women, young girls like to dream one day to do whatever they want to do. The decisions that you make along your career, where sometimes you see opportunities like working for the Obama campaign. We made some prints, and somehow somewhere in Chicago, they saw the image, and the Chicago headquarters called me. They said, we love that portrait of Obama. Would you loan it to us so that we can use it as part of the Obama campaign to reach the Latino population? That brought me a ton of work too. I did 57 portraits for Latinos that were actually born in America or the U.S. territories that contribute something to the United States history. My first postal stamp was about Latin dances. And then the second one was really important to me. It was called Mendes versus Westminster, that wouldn't allow Latino students to go to the same school as all the other white kids. I created a stamp where you see these transitions from dark to light, the enlightening of everyone and bettering the future of all of us. I did the mariachis, and they wanted me to put 5 people in a little stamp like that. I think the Latino population is going to be very upset. So I said, we need to have a series of 5. The guitarrón player, the violin, the trumpet, the singer, the whole thing. It's a huge impact that you're creating in your little studio, and it's going to go out there and millions will see it. I'm very selective with the manuscripts. The stories that I'm attracted to, they're a little more poetic, where their people are feeling something or remembering something or dreaming of something. Just ask. The author is Justice Sonia Sotomayor, right? How could you say no to that? She's had child diabetes from a get-go. She had a moment one time in a restaurant where she had to go to the bathroom and get an injection of insulin. And a woman thought that she was a junkie. And that prompted her to say, you know what? People need to ask more. I used to have also dyslexia when I was a kid. And then, of course, my son, Santiago, has high-functioning autism. There was so much personal in there I could connect to in my own life and her own story. Maybe something beautiful, very personal too, because it was based on our own story of doing murals in my neighborhood in downtown San Diego. And the walls were calling for help, right? I just started sketching things on the wall once I had the permission. And then I started painting, and it was like a magnet. People walked in and they go, what are you doing? It's like, just painting a mural. You want to help? Before you know, you have 5, 6 people helping you out. I'm just passing out brushes and colors. I wanted everybody to participate so they knew what the effort and the love that you have to put to change your community. Eventually, these 2 friends that are authors saw what we were doing, and they said, there's a great book, Empowering the Community with Art. And it worked. Cities started seeing what we were doing in downtown. And they started inviting me to other cities, like Colorado and Seattle and Chicago. People were coming out feeling more the pride of having a more vibrant community instead of just, coming home and closing doors. This is when things really get rewarding for me. When you know that your art evolved from just working for a client that needed to make money for his product. I feel like now I'm doing something for the community, for the immigrant that felt voiceless, the person that didn't see himself on books. And it is really rewarding to go and speak to classes, and they look at you and they're like, hey, you know, I'm Latino too, you know, and I always like to paint. And you coming here, I'm never gonna forget it. So if you just do it with one mind, it's good enough for me, you know. The fact that I really enjoy what I did, every project was completely different than the one before. And the fact that I was stubborn, that I was not gonna give up that easily. My passion for what I did was truly just the joy of creating something new every day.